Welcome. What we're going to do today is we're going to light this hobo stove and try to do some cooking with it. I'll sit in the chair on the side and I hope you'll enjoy this. While we're getting the fire started, I want to show you some of the tools that I've designed for this particular hobo stove. Well, bear with me. There we go. Now, the first thing I want to say is I've created these fire starters. And all it is wood pellets and paraffin put in the bottom of an egg carton. And I got these at a big box store. Those really work well. Here's something I can use for moving pieces of wood or things made from a coat hanger. Now you need a fire poker, and I've actually designed two. This is one I've used, again, out of a coat hanger. And I'm hoping that you can see that all right. And here's the new upscale one I did with the plastic handle. And that's so that you can get in and move things around. In the earlier video, you saw how this went together. And of course I have 3 gutter screws that go through here once the fire is going good, and that's what you sit your pot on, or whatever the case may be. Also, here's an 8-inch pizza baking pan that's really a screen, and that will sit right on top of these, and we're hoping to cook our dinner on that today. But one of the biggest things I want to point out is the creation of fuel. And this is wood that I've collected, just limbs, and previously split. And I make a gallon at a time and put it in here, and I have about 10 gallons of this stuff pre-made. And it really makes a difference. Now the other day, one of my neighbors was building a fence. So I went over and I said, gosh, that's cedar, isn't it? Was able to pick up enough cedar for starting the fire for, gosh, I would say 5 years at least. I've got 4 big boxes of it. I don't use a fancy tool for splitting. I bought that for less than $1 at a flea market. It's some kind of martial arts axe, but it's a perfect thing for chopping this little kind of wood. And we're just about getting to the point where we got to see how this is going. Now the way I stoke this, the other thing I want to point out, if you can see here, is that there are holes here, there are venting holes down below. But I also elevate the fire off the bottom of the hobo stove so that the air can go in and it can burn up. And it's starting to burn pretty nicely now. I like the way it's burning. I may have to stop at some point have to stop the video and let the fire burn, because the idea is to take this is all forest wild hardwood, vine maple and various things like that, that you'd have that's free and available. And the idea, of course, is for that to burn down to a good bed of coals, and then you put your grill on. The grill will just set right down on there, and that's then what you do your cooking on. That is, if you want to do a bug-out barbecue. The way I've designed this particular hobo stove is that it's dual function. You can use it as a small barbecue, or you can use it to heat a pot of boiling water or cook in a conventional way. And I intend to also use a cast iron skillet on this. I have a cast iron skillet that will fit perfectly on this hobo stove. What else can I show you? In the event that this grill doesn't work very good, you can, and by the way, this cost about $1.50. It wasn't very expensive. And it fits right down in the hobo stove, so I really like it. But I was also at a restaurant store and I found a bigger grill which will sit on top of it very nicely as well. So if it turns out that that doesn't work because it's aluminum, we'll use this one. And this was $2.50. Problem is that it's a size that makes it not really that convenient for travel. Our fire is going along pretty nicely here. I'm going to move it just a little bit so that we can get some other stuff in there, and I'll put a couple more pieces of cedar in there. And then, on top of the cedar, you can hear the cedar. This is the hardwood, which is really what you want to use for your cooking. Cedar is there to kind of get things going. Well, I know your time is important, so let me just sit down here and talk to you through the smoke. I think what I'm going to do is turn off the video here for a minute or two, let the coals burn down. I am very low technology here, low tech, and I like that, so I'm not splicing videos together or anything. And so I'm going to let this fire burn down to a cooking level, and then I'll turn the camera back on again. And I hope you're enjoying this so far.